just the balance that I needed in my life. It made everything make sense. It made everything real. And it made everything worth being here for, because I finally have a purpose and I understand what it is. We don't always have the opportunity to meet people that we essentially need to meet in order to understand them. So I started going to mosque in order to really get close to the people and understand them. And the more I got involved in the mosque, the more the women just surrounded me and took me in, and they've really shown me the kindness that is Islam. I never, ever, 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 ever in my life would have ever thought that I'd become a Muslim. Ever. Never, ever. My perception of them was so misconceived that I didn't like them, because I believed media and I thought that they were bad, and never in a million years would I have thought that one day I'd be one of them. But now that I am so proud. I am so happy. I want to wear hijab because I want people to know that I'm Muslim. Even if they hate me, I don't care. I want to show them that Allah exists in any kind of person, not just Middle Eastern. I played drums before I was Muslim, and just because I became a Muslim doesn't mean I have to stop doing the things that I enjoy. I do a lot of sports. Snowboarding, wakeboarding. You can do all those things and still be a good Muslim and still wear hijab. My dad never really knew about my past with the drugs and the Playboy modeling and all that stuff. He and I didn't speak for 8 years. He kicked me out of the house when I was 17 years old, and I lived under a freeway overpass for a week. I was homeless, and all I had with me was what I could fit into my backpack and my bass guitar. So we didn't speak for 8 years after that, and he didn't understand, or wouldn't have understood, is that these are experiences that I needed to have on my own. I needed to have the pain on my own, and I needed to have the recovery on my own. The only reason why I started speaking to him again was because I got pregnant with my son, and I figured that my son needed a grandfather. When I did come back and finally start speaking to him again, we had a beautiful conversation together, and we discussed what had happened before, and we both apologized to each other and promised to never do it again. So this is my daddy, and he's my best friend in the whole wide world. And that's something I never thought was going to happen. But now that it has, I love him so much. The first time my dad learned about my conversion, I was on my way home from Sacramento. I had just gone to a mosque up there and converted. And I was driving home, and I was too afraid to call him because I knew he was going to be really mad. So I texted him on the phone, and I said, "Dad, can you please try to start having an open mind about Muslims? Can you please start just not being so judgmental and believing everything you see on the news?" And he texted me back and said, "Why?" So I said, "Well, Dad, I'm Muslim." My father was not too pleased when he found out that I converted to Islam. He was quite unhappy to the point where I feared that I was going to have to leave. We live in the same home, and we work at the same job, and I haven't gone back to the job since. But living at home has been very tense. He's been very confrontational about it at times. Wow. Another text from my dad, trying to protect me, which I understand. He's definitely misinformed as to what is going on with Islam. He says that if I ever change my mind and decide to leave Islam, that the Muslims will threaten and kill me and my dad and my son. Basically, it's all him trying to protect me and asking me to be careful and trying to show me what the real side of Islam is about. But the problem is he doesn't know what the real side is because he's not involved in it. Once you become involved in Islam, the true and correct and pure Islam, you understand what the truth is. He's reaching the point now, I've had conversations with him about it, trying to show him what true Islam is, and that it's not what he's seen on the news, it's not what he thinks it is. So I've been working with him, trying to show it to him piece by piece, and he's now finally starting to come around and have some acceptance towards me about it. I'm really looking forward to watching him grow with that as I blossom and grow in Islam. Islam is not what he thinks it is, and if he sees me doing good deeds and kindness towards him and towards others, I think it'll really help open his eyes to what is really going on. I think the biggest thing that I pray for is for understanding, for strength from myself to keep going through what I'm going through, and for understanding from my Father so that he can understand that what I'm going through isn't easy and that it hurts me just as much as it hurts him. So hopefully, by the grace of Allah, he will one day understand and be accepting and gracious towards my decision. And I think step by step he's seeing the change in me, and he's learning to appreciate what I'm doing, what I'm learning. And hopefully one day that'll help him see and view Islam in a more positive way. Being an American, there are a lot of things Americans do that don't coincide with Islam. And I've basically had to really learn what is halal and what is haram. And you know, I don't want to do anything that's haram, obviously. I don't want to sin. So it's very important to me to find out what these things are. I don't know what all of them are yet. I've only been in this a week and a half, and there are a lot of things that I'm still learning. It's difficult for me to understand a lot of what is going on when I'm around Muslim people, when I'm at the mosque, because a lot of it is in Arabic. And I don't speak Arabic yet, but I have a strong desire to learn it. As far as the Quran is concerned, I think, you know, I'm reading it in English now, and I want to learn it in its purest form, and that would be to learn it in Arabic. I have the Arabic version. You know, I like to look at it, but I don't understand what it's saying. But I am in the process of learning the alphabet and learning what the handwriting looks like so I can understand it. And I really want to read the Quran in its purest form, and the only way to do that is to learn Arabic and read the Quran in Arabic. So it's only my first week and a half of being Muslim, so I obviously don't know any Arabic yet. And you know, I try to read the Quran, and I have the translation. I have it in Arabic. I have it in the Arabic written language for Americans, and then I also have it in English. So pretty much the only thing I really know how to say in Arabic that I can recognize and understand is in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, which is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Other than that, I'm learning.